All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome, Detroit. Welcome, Detroit sports fans around the world. Welcome to another episode of D313 Rapaport, episode 7. Man, glad to be back. Glad to be back, fellas, man. This is your boy DC1. Got my guys here, Bree, and my guy known as Jay. Gentlemen, how y'all feeling today, man?
Feeling good. Feeling good. Feeling great.
Glad,
Feeling
yeah.
great. Feeling good. How are you?
I am feeling good, man. Nomas J, how you feeling, bruh?
Ouch. My fucking elbow, man. But I was cool up to that point, but yeah.
Man.
How about you, man?
I'm good, man. We're glad to be back for our episode 7, man, of this Rapaport, man. Glad to be back, man. So definitely we got some stuff to get into, man. So let's go ahead and get into it. First, man, you know what happened a few days ago, as y'all know. Monty went. You know, everybody, all Detroit sports fans, you know, us Pistons fans, we're definitely exciting times, man. Having Monty Williams, our new head coach, our new leader, to help these young men to be successful on and off the court. So this is a great time, man. You know, we still, you know, people still celebrating, you know, so man, it's just so great, man. So, you know, as you know, Monty, I guess we lost Nomas. He'll be back with us. Yeah, man, it's a great time, man. Bree, you know, as we know, Monty Williams agreed to a 6-year, $78.5 million, which also he get 2 more years, which is 8 years, $100 million with incentives. So, man, Bree. So tell me how you feel about Monty Williams being our new head coach of the Pistons. How did you hear about the news? Tell me, man, how you feel, bro?
I feel good. I feel like this is the right guy. I know they tried before. They you know, it didn't work, so they threw the money at him, and they gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. They gave him the Godfather treatment. So, and I know there's some fans that's like, why would we want to throw all this money into a head coach and things like that? And why would he do that when he said no the first couple of times? But they see the value of this guy and how he develops and makes a team better. You know, when he was coaching New Orleans and Phoenix, they wasn't nowhere, like, they were nowhere in the playoff pit. Phoenix was forgotten, and Monty Williams coached there, and he just within a year or two, he has them in the finals. So to have somebody like, and he's a good development. He's good in development. I think it's good for these big guys. You know, the Durants, the Stewarts, the Marvin Bagleys. You know, all these guys, and plus, you know, Monty Williams is a playing the NBA. He's a big guy, so he knows how to coach these big guys. I mean, look what he did to DeAndre Ayton, and you know, look what he did to Booker. I mean, and then the assistant coaches too. But I love this move, man. I think I know some people say we overpaid for him, but I don't think we overpaid for him. I think he's the right coach for this team, and I wish we could. Me personally, I wish we could have got Kevin Ollie, but this was the best thing. This was the best option, and I'm good for it, man. I want to see this team succeed with his coaching, and man, I can't wait. I can't wait who else he brings in. I know he just brought in Steven Silas. There's a possibility he could bring in Derek Jack and a few other people. So I'm really intrigued by. I love this move, and I just want to see who else he brings in on the staff. But I'm excited about this. I love the move. I love it. Just another great move for the Pistons. And the future is bright. The future is very, very bright. And I think even with the guards, I think this is a good too, because he's good at mold guards too. With if he has somebody like a Jared Jack there, he can mold these guards. It's that being a tough-minded guard he was in the NBA, he can have that with these guards. So I'm with it, man. I can't wait till the season starts, man. I love this move. Wonderful. Kudos to the Pistons. Good job.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, man. It was, shocking, saying that the deal got done. Like you said, shout out to Tom Gores and Troy Weaver. They made it. These guys made it happen to get Monty Williams, because they saw in Monty. I know Troy Weaver and Monty have a little history together in OKC. It was, that was one of many factors, and they seen how he developed young players. Monty Williams has proven that from his coaching career. People forget, man, he coached the New Orleans Hornets before they was the Pelicans. He coached it when it was the young Chris Paul, was the young David West, and Jamal McGlures, those young guys, man. People forget Monty Williams was a hell of a coach being with the New Orleans Hornets. And got his first shot, being assistant in a while, and then turn around, becoming the head coach of this Phoenix Suns team, which they, prior to that, they was irrelevant. They was a laughingstock of team for 10 years prior, to that. So him coming in, he turned that franchise around, to make a NBA Finals appearance, and his tenure with the Phoenix Suns. It just shows what type of coach he is, and a leader of men. And that's what we need. We need a players coach that can help develop these young players to be successful on and off the court. K Cunningham and Ivy and the Stewarts and all those guys, they're gonna learn from Mike. They're gonna learn from, shout out to Steven Silas. Congratulations, he's assistant on the Monty Williams staff. So it talks of say Jared Jack, be another part of his coaching staff, possibly his coaching staff. So Monty Williams, it's just huge, being in this organization. Even, like you said, he was still gonna get, if he didn't come to the Pistons, he was still getting paid by the Phoenix Suns, because they still owe him the contract. Mm-hmm. So for the Pistons to make that move, Tom Gores and Troy Weaver made that move to bring him in, is huge. It has helped. It's another step to success for this Pistons team. And like I said, to me, the minimum should be the play-in. We're healthy. This Pistons team healthy. Our minimum should at least be in the play-in. Our the Eastern Conference not that deep. Milwaukee's getting older. They got a new coach. Boston, they're gonna be around. Miami's gonna be around. We see with Philly, but in Atlanta maybe, but all those other teams, the Pistons could be better than those teams, like the New Yorks and all them. It just come down to getting these young players to buy into what Monty Williams is bringing to this team. So, love the hire. I was surprised. Looked on Twitter, reached out to you guys. Man, it was exciting, for this Detroit, sports, man. Just hearing the exciting news of having Monty Williams as our head coach, man. So definitely, especially he went through a lot, his personal life, and he deserved this opportunity. We welcome him with open arms. We're gonna embrace him, brace this team. We're gonna be down there to continue to support this team. We want what's best for this Pistons team, and we hope, to him to bring a championship to the city. So definitely looking forward to it. We all look forward to this Pistons regime. You see what's going to happen with free agency, in the draft, the trades, what I'm saying? See what's gonna happen, and the sky's the limit, man. Welcome aboard. Welcome, Monty Williams. Welcome to Detroit, man. Glad to have you here, man. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'd say, man.
And people can't say Tom Gores don't pay nobody. See how much he paid Monty Williams and made sure he would be here. So I always hear fans say, well, Tom Gores don't pay his players, he don't pay coaches and stuff. Well, he just made Monty Williams the highest paid coach in the NBA.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
you can't say nothing on that.
Nope. Can't say that. Nomis, the floor is yours, my brother.
All right, sorry about that. Technical difficulties, everybody. But as far as and also sorry I don't have my Piston hat. A little injury to my elbow made me forget. But I'm gonna say this, man.
We still support you, bro. We still got you.
Okay, good. I'm excited. Beyond overjoyed. And if you're thinking this is about simply because we got Monty Williams, no. Bree just touched on what I was saying. I don't think outside of Mike Ilitch have I ever seen an owner actually step up and be so aggressive to pay for a guy that he thinks is the coach. We've been asking this for so long out of any of our Detroit franchises, with the exception of the Tigers when Mike Ilitch was running things. Never have ever seen a Pistons owner be this great as far as, being aggressive. He is an aggressive man. Never seen, still waiting on that Lions one, but that come on, bro, are you serious right now? Like, this man literally went out and paid for this guy. And the contract he initially tried to offer him, it was turned down. He kept going. That's the part that really got to me. Is like, the guy turned you down like a couple of times, and you kept up in the ante. He said it and made it known that he wanted a coach with winning experience. That's what he wanted. He didn't want a rookie coach. He wanted a coach that had a winning culture, that was already experienced, that wasn't Doc Rivers. He wanted a winning coach, and he was a winning coach. And I'm overjoyed because you always ask the Pistons to go out there and be aggressive some kind of way. I can never take this back from him again. And I do agree, Tom Gores is willing to pay, but I think he had. I still wonder what happened. Like, just before Troy Weaver got here sometimes, because it's like, I know he didn't want to not to open up a certain can of worms, but I know he didn't want to let a certain player walk. And I know for a fact that had to be like a countering, gang up on kind of decision, and then he just said bumping and went with it. Because I think if he would have had his way to pay for a certain player that I'm talking about, he would have kept him too. At least until his contract was completely up. But other than that, Monty, man, his pedigree as a winning coach, man, you know what I'm saying? You saw what happened when he got over there with the Phoenix Suns. I know they had some bad moments, but at this point in time, when it comes to coaches, man, a lot of these coaches in the NBA are making some of the same mistakes when it comes to these big games where they coughing them up or they didn't adjust right. It's a lot of that going on around the league. Right now, the Pistons don't have a chance to be picky like that. They have to go for the guy who is one of the best coaches in the league. And Monty Williams just happens to be one of the best coaches in the league. So you go out there and you pay the money for the guy you know could probably come in here and change, because he's got more than one team track record of doing it. And I think I had to tip my hat off to the Pistons for that. This is Tom Gores' first time I ever see him step over the GM and say, "Nah, I got this one." You know what I'm saying? I think, Troy Weaver wanted Ollie, but I feel like Tom Gores said, "Nuh-uh, we ain't doing it this way. We go get somebody I want." And that just shows you a testament to the game. Dude's a fan of basketball, so at some point he's learned something in his years as an owner, and I think now he's starting to learn when and who he should be going at. I at least know that my owner say guys who win. That's the part that I take from this, because you're paying attention. You're paying attention what's happening around the league. That's that message. So the threat you made this man the highest paid coach, you went after him personally, you kept going. That tells me you paying attention to what's going on around the league. And that's the part that I take from this, and that's why I'm happy to have Monty here, because not just because he's a good coach, and because I think he'd be a really good coach for us potentially, because we got to still see the team, how the roster go look play, but because the front office is telling me that they're finally paying attention. That's why this to me was a really good hire. Has nothing to do. We haven't seen them take coach a snap a count or a minute for us yet. But as far as just the organizational wise, it shows me they're paying attention.
Yeah, and that's a great point you said, because the organization, is paying attention to see, hey, we got to make a change, in this organization. And two, when you brought up a point that, Troy was looking at, the guys like Kevin Ollie, all those. Now, nobody was, at that point, it was almost getting close to that, getting Kevin Ollie. But when Monty Williams became available, that changed the whole dynamic. It really changed the whole dynamic. Yep. So now it was just like, I'm glad Troy Weaver and Tom Gores, especially Troy Weaver, they didn't rush to get a coach. We had all these other coaches at Dokas, and Nick Nurse and Budenholzer and all them guys was out there. But Troy Weaver and Tom Gores, they took their time. Gores had to push to get Monty Williams a couple times, but he got him. He got the guy that we is going to be part of this Detroit Pistons organization. So it was huge. So go ahead, No.
You know what? I'm wondering, maybe I'm over speculating here, and if you think I am, that's fair. I'm starting to wonder where that initial head of we go take our time and look at the coaching. I know usually I think that was Troy Weaver, but I've been kind of quietly thinking that maybe that was the owner too, because just the way he incorporated it, getting Williams here, it seems like that. I told y'all back when our season ended, I said they either go hire a coach either really, really quick, or they go wait to down at the finals to do it. At first, I was so sure they was going to hire it quick. But then after the first couple of weeks, I was like, you know what? They probably going to try to wait out to down at the finals. That's exactly what happened. They hired the coach the day before the first day of the finals. And which was my birthday, y'all, everybody. And I was tricked out because I'm like, bro, I literally sort of predicted this, man. It's like they actually, not trying to pat myself on the back, but I'm just saying, like, they actually did. They wanted to narrow down to both sides of the conferences on who they felt was the best options, because you don't want to be one of the teams that's so caught in the rebuild. You just taking the first few hot names coming to you. So I think with their situation, they looked at it very carefully, and they was like, who about to get fired? And they probably smelled gasoline. And I think this was generally voted on by the entire front office, including the owner. I think he might have said, "Oh, we gonna wait this out for somebody because I want a winner." I can see him saying.
I think it's more, you have some valid points on that. I think it's more, like I said, it could be Tom Gores. Like I said, to me, I think it's more a little more Troy Weaver, because I say the reason I said it because Troy Weaver, they took their time. They did. They was doing their homework of, they doing these interviews with these candidates. I think they took their time. They did not rush it. And like I said, nobody was expecting Monty Williams to be, out as Phoenix does at that moment at the time.
Yeah.
Once he became available, that was just like, okay, now everything else is open.
True.
I mean, the only two coaches that kind of surprised me of being out there, like I said, Monty Williams and Mike Budenholzer. I kind of somewhat see it with Nick Nurse. We knew Doc Rivers. That was we knew that was coming. You know, we were saying, remember, we was talking about Udoka. You know what I'm saying? Could be, you know, we was talking about Udoka for a minute. But, you know, Houston,
Right.
they took care of that. So
Right.
I think Troy Weaver.
You know what? I just thought about something.
Yeah. And they took their time. They did a great job of taking their time and getting the right coach for this team. So that's what that you know, and just, even if it would have took after the NBA Finals, you know, to get that coach.
It would have been the right idea to do so.
It's the right idea. Yeah. Now I'm glad they kind of did it, you know what I'm saying, just before the finals started. For your birthday. Yeah, so but now we got the draft coming up. So that's another part is play a part as well. You kind of want to go to the point and not wait to get a coach later on. You get close to the draft. Now the draft is here. Now
nobody knows each other.
Right. So now getting Monty Williams now had enough time to get, you know, him and Troy Weaver and Tom Gores get a game. If Dwayne Casey, part of the front office, get a game plan of what we're going to do to construct this team to be better. You know, talk about what's coming up in the draft. We got free agency coming up, you know what I'm saying, starting next month. So this is huge. So now Monty Williams can, you know, get himself settled in these meetings, meeting with Cade Cunningham and Ivy's, those main players, you know, get the guys to talk, you know, to buy into the system. So Bree, what you think, man?
The Monty Williams.
Yeah, and then so give me your other takes, man. What you think?
Like I said, man, I think it's a good move for them, man. And plus, like you said, this will be good on. It'll be interesting to see who they gonna draft and what direction they do go. And I think it's gonna be interesting to see that. But like I said, man, I think Monty gonna do a good job, man. I think he gonna handle his business. I think the big question is when they struggle, how this fan base is gonna be. Like, are they gonna want to push him out of there like they wanted to do Casey? So they gonna have a losing streak.
No, so, I don't think that. No, go ahead, finish.
No, go ahead.
No, I don't think they're gonna push. No, I don't think these fan bases, because they know this. First, I don't think the fans gonna push them out. I mean, you got to think about it. You know, this is, and it's not like Monty Williams was been a head coach for the past few years. This is going to be his first season, you know, as a head coach. It takes time. Of course, we always have a new coach. It's going to take time, you know what I'm saying, the people to buy, you know, to you know, in the system. And it also got to come down to health, you know what I'm saying, health. You know, so especially our main key guys of Cade Cunningham and, you know, Jaden Ivey is those guys. I don't think the fan base is going to be like, oh, man, we want Monty Williams fired. We in this and that. He can't get it done and all that. I mean, we already had enough with Dwayne Casey. Everybody know, a lot of people know Monty Williams is a better head coach. I know no one look at him crazy, but Monty Williams is a better head coach than Dwayne Casey. Okay, that's just fact. That's just facts. They know this is Monty Williams is going to help come in and get the job done. Not in no first year, the fans gonna be like, oh, we want him fired, we want him gone. No, I don't think fans gonna want that. They'll be upset, but I don't think they're gonna want him gone.
Man, I'm telling you, it's gonna come when they get in that losing streak. It's gonna come. You're gonna have fans that's gonna be like, we got to get them out of here. We paid them all this money for us to get this far, and we losing. I'm telling you, it's gonna come. I guarantee you, it's gonna come.
I think Daryl been spending too much time looking at the Clippers because he clearly got the fan bases messed up. Because you see the Pistons fans, the most unloyal fan base in Detroit.
Okay, did they do Dwayne Casey his first year?
Yes.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. Because I remember arguing with them.
No, they did not did that with Pistons because they still made the playoffs.
Bro,
They still made the playoffs.
He was no better than Stan Van Gundy his first year. And then it was get rid of Dwayne Casey, get rid of Drummond, make this Blake's team.
That's delusion. That's delusional so-called diehard Pistons fans. They not even Pistons fans. Those are just what the hell type of fans. If you're actually a Piston, okay, I'll tell you this. You ask Keenan and Downtown Deuce and all them guys, I guarantee would they get upset if the Pistons you've been on a losing streak, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to get Monty wins on it. I guarantee they would not say that. A true Pistons fan
they not gonna do that. We ain't talking about this.
I'm just saying, you're a true Piston fan, you a true Piston fan, I'm a true Piston fan. So I mean, I'm not gonna tell Monty Williams get him out of here on his first year. No.
Okay, yeah, but we can just say no. We the true Pistons, man. We talking about the when Bree was talking about was the average fan that's there at the games. You know how these guys are. They the Pistons fan base is the most unloyal out of all four. The Spartans get more love than the Pistons do, dog. They get more love. Central Michigan get more love than the Pistons fans,
that ain't right, bro. That ain't right.
Bro, Pistons go on a 10-game winning streak, and I guarantee you, they go on even a 3-game winning streak. Peace stains till they come again. Like, what is y'all doing?
Come on, man. You hanging around Dante too much, man. Stop it, man.
That's true, but still, it's all of them. I see the comments, bro. I've been doing this stuff for years, man. I've been seeing it happen since before I became a content creator. They want every coach fired on every team, but when it comes to the Pistons, it's just floated. It's like, how dare they lose 5 games, bro? Like, bro, it's 82 games. No, they did this. They did it with Casey, bro. They did.
Not in his first year. They didn't do it in his first year.
Maybe.
Well, maybe
if they did it with Drew Caldwell in his first year as the head coach, you don't think they didn't do it with the damn Dwayne Casey? Yeah, I remember arguing with people in the comment sections, like, bro, why y'all talking about firing this man? He just got here. But all these different random people, Casey, he could have did better this. Then it took me a while to start getting frustrated with him. I'm like, it took me to like his second, third season, so I was like, all right, bro, you gotta go. Because
look at you started this, man.
Because he knows.
But see, but the thing is, I know how these Piston fans are because I'm around. I always see them complaining about, man, we should let Casey go. We ain't got no team. It's like, but then at the same time too, this the thing. How can Casey coach a team that majority of the players are injured? You know what I mean? You gotta look at it like that.
This ties into the next topic I want to discuss anyway. Okay. Now that we got our coach Monty Williams, I had an issue that pissed me off because when I sit back and I look at Casey as a coach and I look at Monty Williams, I don't think Casey was ever. We agree. Casey not a bad coach. He just old nowadays. There's a difference between being a bad coach and just being old. Old can still get you to the playoffs. That he did do. In that roster that we went to the playoffs with Casey under, wasn't that good of a roster either. Let's be real. That was not. You out here with Langston Galloway playing point guard, and you got. And he made it work with no starting. Barely any starters on that lineup. And, you knew when we was AC, you was going to get swept. Okay, you knew. The only thing you managed to do was show that Bruce Brown had a future, which he's been, as he clearly did. The Pistons didn't have no draft capital. Then they wasted picks because of front office. Dwayne Casey, if you gave him, I just said yesterday to you on Instagram, I said, if you give him the talent that some of these teams is picking higher than us right now in this draft, all these guys have more talent, veteran-wise than we do. You got Rozier, we got Corey Joseph. You got wings that don't play defense, that just shoot mainly. These guys got freaking, what's my man name for play for the Blazers? I wanted that was drafted by the Hawks. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Reed, whatever his name is, Red. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Cam Reddish.
Yep, Reddish. We got Corey Joseph. We got some of these guys. Boyan, okay, but Boyan, I had an issue with. Like a real Pistons team. Yeah, a guy like Boyan can be on the team, but I always looked at him off the bench because I looked at the old school lineups. Who do we have? We have Vinnie Johnson, microwave, right? We used to have on 04 boys. You used to have Redice and legendary 18-footer. You had another guy that could shoot shoot it up a little bit. Rick was like the main shooter, but even he had a diverse skill set as a guard. And then it's like now when you look at KCP in his time with us, yeah, he was a good catch and shooter, but KCP did more than just that, and he was a good defender, kind of like a bootleg Mars. Guys like Boyan, Luke Kennard, they're bench players to me on this team. I always looked at them as that. Not saying they suck or they ain't worth being starters on other teams, but how they fit for the Pistons, who we are as a nature. We're about defense. I hope to God that Monty brings us, praying for it, which I expect him to do. We need guys who play defense. Guys like Boyan, guys like Alec Burke, they come off the bench. That's what their role should be, in my opinion. Regardless of what they persist to say, regardless of this. And I'm looking at these guys that's picking higher than us, and I'm like, man, it's just not fair. It's like these guys have more veteran talent than us, and then people kill our boy Killian Hayes. He wasn't playing like LaMelo Ball, but LaMelo Ball don't even take the game serious enough. What did I say? Remember, Daryl, I said I had 7 players that are untouchable in my opinion. It was Cade, Duran, Ivy, Killian, Stewart, and I'd say Eugene can stay and Livers can stay. It would have been bad if he didn't get traded. That would have been 8. Those guys to me were untouchable because I said those are the guys you should be building around. And that's what I want to see because we don't have anybody and we're not marketed enough. We're in a bad, tight situation. I don't know what it is about the Pistons. It's always been harder for them to get free agents than with the Lions. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like I don't know, man. They need to do something because at the end of the day, they're not going to be able to spend money for some big time, Donovan Mitchell-esque type player. And I don't think they should anyway because you already got your guard combos right there. What would be the point of bringing one of those in? You need a veteran that plays a different position that can offer you something that's really good that can take you over the mountaintop on the starting lineup. And that's what we need from Monty. We need him to have an influence because it's just not fair that we pick it 5th with this coach that we just hired to, and these teams ahead of us got more talent. They just do. With KC, had half those guys that I just named on some of them other teams, we'd have did better with Casey. And we just won 24, 25 games without Cade. I believe that because we won 23 games before we had a Cade Cunningham. That's just the way I look at it.
Well, I'm gonna say this. And a lot of that, people, like you said, the Pistons is like it's a small market. People not gonna, not gonna come to Detroit, unless they're winning. We winning, we contended for. We look at the Detroit Lions. Okay, the Lions started winning. Now. We one of the NFC North favorites and, being one of the top 5 favorites in the NFC contending for the Super Bowl. You get free agencies coming to Detroit. That's the same thing with this Pistons. We continue, like I said, winning is the key. Health and winning is the key. If we do those things, we're going to get these big name free agents going to come here to play for the Pistons in this town. They're going to come here. Same what just happened with the Lions. That's going to happen with the Tigers. It's already so slowly happening with the Detroit Red Wings as well. So, just wait. It's slowly happening with them.
It's all about the system too. It's all about the system that you run too. That's the main thing. Because you can have as many, good players you can, but it's all about playing in the right system. You know what I mean? So you got players, like like Noam was mentioning about KCP and Bruce Brown. They were nice players, but they just didn't fit the system that the Pistons was on. So they decided to go elsewhere.
I think more that, to me personally, I think that, because like I said, I was one of the ones I was upset at Troy Weaver, and I said, let him go. He didn't know what he was doing. When he let Bruce Brown go, and KCP ended up left as a free agent or as a trade or something. Can't remember what it was.
No, he walked that. Yeah. He just walked because he wanted like $20 million. So
and then the Pistons weren't going to pay him, and so he signed with the Lakers for that 1 year deal, which got him a championship. But anyway,
second
I feel that the Bubblicious championship,
yeah.
But and plus too with KCP, he wasn't, and a lot of people don't really a lot of people got to understand too, he wasn't a consistent scorer. Because
he's never really a scorer. He's not a scorer. He's more like that defender. He was more of a defender. He'll get you some buckets when he's capable, but it's not. He wasn't on like
you rely a couple times.
Yeah, he was more a defender.
I think more people are just upset at the players we didn't get, instead of the ones we did draft. Like we go back to KCP, and we could have got this person. We could have got that, or the Luke Kennard. Oh man, we should have got Donovan Mitchell. Or we can go back as far as getting Darko, instead of we should have got Carmelo Anthony and Chris Bosh. People still bring that up.
That's why I'm so pissed at the fans now, because you took those guys this time. You took Cade. You took Ivy. You should have known what Killian Hayes was supposed to be. You took Durant. Why are you wanting to get rid of these guys now? Because one dude got hurt for most of the whole season, and then his first year he had ANC miss here and there all the time. When you knew he was a rookie, he wasn't about to take you to a championship.
And then you got fans out here, but you got to understand too, you got fans out here who are not patient. They want a player to be good already.
But it's always been that since fans, though. It's always been that way with them. So why all of a sudden get rid of Cade now? You just bad for this guy. Killian played his first regular season game. He was begging for Cade. And
man, you still got people mad that we ain't got Sekou no more. We still got people talking about that. He was the future. He was going to be that next guy, but he in the G League. So
his defense was on.
Yeah. And like you said, it came down sometimes, like you was talking about the system, and maybe Troy Weaver at the point didn't fit, that he fit that the system in the organization. That's how he probably felt the same way with Bruce Brown and Christian Wood. Man, I wish them guys were still here, because I believe those, especially Christian Wood. Christian Wood, he proved he bounced around the league before he finally got an opportunity with this Pistons team. He showed his versatility. He can stretch the floor, shoot the three, and all that. And I think that was one of the big things to me that Troy Weaver should not let Christian Wood walk, is because the simple fact that Christian Wood, how he developed, became a better, versatile player.
The reason why, you gotta blame Stan Van Gundy a little bit for that. Because if he didn't trade for Blake Griffin, we would have been able to eventually, and we still fired Stan Van Gundy, and then they bring in Christian Wood like they did a couple years later. We would have been able to pay to keep him and still bring Jeremy Grant on the team. Because all our money was tied up to Blake and what was left to Reggie and Drummond scenario. We couldn't afford to keep.
But see, remember, Reggie was a buyout.
I know. Buyout. That's what I'm saying. But you got Blake Griffin's contract crippling us, and then we still was trying to finish up paying Josh Smith, and then you still, like I said, there was things that complication that happened with other people's contracts when it came to buyouts. It wasn't just Reggie. You had the other Morris twin, Mark Keefe. You had the other guys that. Our money was just tied up, and we couldn't afford to keep both of them. You could have literally spent $100 million between both of them, and then still added in the other. That's why he went with all those journeyman role players that was high draft. It's like you brought Josh Smith on, Josh Jackson, who I wish you wouldn't have let go. And then you signed some sus players like Mason the plumber, and I don't know what that was about.
You know Kelly Olynyk and Jaleel Okafor. I can't never get over that.
No, I found out Jaleel Okafor was necessary because it's a room thing about him that he helps you get the number one pick. So he got paid.
No, being big for nothing that don't count, bro.
Yeah, I know.
He just called for nothing.
Yeah,
I know.
That's the Philadelphia 76ers. As OKC.
Okay.
See,
I know.
And the thing is,
got number one pick.
See, but the thing is too, Christian Wood didn't want to stay anyway. They gave him a nice contract.
No, he actually wanted to stay. He wanted to stay.
Yeah.
He actually wanted to stay. But Troy Weaver decided he was going to let him walk. That's why he signed that contract with Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was paid him less money though. He paid him less money than what the Pistons was going on.
Because they had more money to give. That's why. The Pistons still was on Josh Smith, for God's sake. They just stopped paying him like a year or two ago. Yeah. You got this contract. You still got Blake's. You still got you probably still got back behind the door money that you still owe to Reggie despite the buyout or whatever. And then there's always be complications with that.
Oh, and then on top of that too.
Money.
And on top of that too, you gotta we can't forget. Remember they was with Stan Van Gundy. Remember they had to deal with that Charlie Villanueva contract and that Ben Gordon contract.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everything that happened in the past, all our past discussions, had said we kind of started with Dumars. All that led to where we at right now. It's literally a stress out for us missing out on that pick. When three of the best players in that draft, one just retired, shout out to Melo, and all those bad moves that should have never been made when we were winning, all cost us all the way down. Just kept me in a accumulation. Nobody coming and changing the game. You taking Brandon Knight over Kemba Walker, fuck Kemba Walker now, but you taking Brandon Knight over him. You just missing out on obvious guys in the first, second round. There's a guy named Detroit Sports World who used to be on YouTube all the time. He's still kind of on here, but he's coaching now, so shout out to him. He was actually in our one of our chats of our previous Rapaports. And I remember when I was talking to him, this dude, I gave him my number. He called me. And me and him sat on the phone for 90 minutes to 2 hours. He just telling me every player the Pistons that missed out from the first round, second round, and even UDFA. And I almost stopped being a fan of the Pistons when I got off the phone with him. And that wasn't even his attention. But it's just, that's what they've done. They always miss out on players. So that not core guys. I want this coach now to build properly with them, because getting rid of them is only going to hurt you. If you get rid of those, you're going to learn from the state. Building your team homegrown makes you a lot more difficult to beat. Yeah. It takes some Golden State, even when they're older now. It still takes so much to beat them. Now you got the ability to turn struggling role players like Andrew Wiggins. He can come over there, fit in the system, and do his thing and have a role and all that. You want that. That's what you want as a Pistons fan. A system that develops young talent that you drafted, because there is no weakness to it. Because you know all of the ways to transition them. You know how to put pieces around them versus the LeBron James way of doing it or the KD way of doing it. You don't want to build a team like that. And that's why I feel like with the Phoenix Suns, they kind of lost their way. I feel like they shouldn't have gave up those young role players. I feel like they should have, if they bring KD over there, they should have gave us draft capital only and tried to get him. You shouldn't have gave up your best role players just to get him over there. I'd say one player after that, it should have been one player in draft capital. You shouldn't let that walk like that. Come on, man, that hurt you. Now you don't have no bench.
Right. Absolutely.
I don't want the Pistons like that. I want them to have, they got guys, the young guys can score. They just don't have enough leadership in defense out there. And now that's why I'm impatient waiting on this off season to progress, because I need to see what's coming next for us. Like, I need to see if they're going to be able to, acquire the right talent, guys who can come in and be voices in that locker room. Because I don't want the same thing keep repeating itself. Oh, Killian Hayes too soon, or you got rid of Stewart too soon. All you see, they all laser focused, man. Them 7, they laser, man. They laser focused. You don't get rid of those guys. That's why I don't care what people say. Oh, they now all that. Fuck that. I don't say all that either when he was first drafted, and neither was Spencer Dinwiddie. But guess what? Now we all was begging for him for years. Don't repeat the same mistakes. That's all I'm saying.
All right, definitely, man. So, any final thoughts before we move on and talk about Detroit Lions right quick?
Don't repeat the same mistakes over again.
Absolutely. Bree, any final thoughts?
Man, it's just all about the system. As long as but I think, to me, man, I believe in what Troy Weaver is doing, man. I think he's been doing a good job. He's been doing some moves that have surprised me. How he got Duren, I'm still amazed at that. I don't know how he did that, but some of the moves he's done has been incredible. That's some moves have been a little you like, but I still got trust in Troy Weaver and Flores and this whole Pistons staff. I know they got a bright future ahead of them. So that's all I got on that.
Absolutely, man. So let's go get into it right quick. Let's talk about the Detroit Lions right quick before getting almost got a little bit of time. We talk about Detroit Lions right quick. It's been talks, everybody about the DeAndre Hopkins. Is out there on the market now, and possibly that DeAndre Hopkins, saying they could be a Detroit Lion, man. So Lions got the cap, they got the money. So I'm gonna start with you now, man. How'd you feel that do you see Hopkins being a Detroit Lion, man?
Hey, how much time you got, buddy? Because we got 12 more minutes. I was being sarcastic, but I know you was too. But I don't see it, and I ain't gonna say I don't want it. I'm just not about to go simp for the guy because at the end of the day, I still don't know if we can trust him yet from that injury. And I'm not saying he's not a baller. I don't want people. Oh, can you say about D-Hop? Yeah, if this was D-Hop before the injury, I'll be saying go get the guy. But the thing about D-Hop, and it ain't about all that old cultural crap, it's about the situation of this. You have more. I get what he could do offensively for you as a guy who can stretch the field as a wide receiver. And I know everybody's like, with J-Mo out, we need somebody with blah, blah. I get all that. I need the Lions, if they got capped like this, give me somebody to playmaker on defense. Because I still feel like you lacking there. I'm a guy about priority first. He's not be a big priority enough. I'm not, just acting like we got receivers galore or something. Just because we swapped for Marvin Jones and then, St. Brown is still there. But we already got a young tight end. We got to see what he can do. You got so many new players.
We lost. No.
Blackout.
We lost. Yeah. So, Bree. So, man. So, do you feel that the Lions should go after DeAndre Hopkins, man, or should you go ahead and pass on him?
Absolutely. I mean, hey, if he's there and he want to come here, hey, I'm all for it. I mean, especially while J-Mo is suspended, you might as well just get another wide receiver that can spread the field, that can go out there and do what he got to do, and he's still a good wide receiver. He's still a top tier wide receiver. So I mean, it didn't really work out too much in Arizona for him. So he needed a change of scenery, and I think a change of scenery would be good for him. I really do. I think it's good, but if I was, I definitely would take him for the Lions. Absolutely. And he would be good. That too. But Yeah, I think he would be good, and I think he would be a good veteran presence for the other receivers, especially somebody like a J-Mo or St. Brown. So I think he would work. Yeah. So I think he would work out for that, and he would be a good veteran presence for him and teaching the ropes. So I would most definitely, I would mind signing him. Absolutely. Yeah. Very good.
I'm gonna definitely agree with you on that. Like I said, just to bring a guy, DeAndre Hopkins, yeah, he may not be the same like he used to be, coming off the injuries, but you bring a guy, that veteran leadership, that's been around, that can, like you said, a guy that can help you stretch the field. That defense is somewhat still have to worry about at times, like, now it's like they said the matchups, and then also too it comes, like I said, J-Mo's out for the first 6 games. Now people's gonna be, say you give a guy like Hopkins, and like you said, can help this receiving core. You having him and Marvin Jones, 2 of your veterans, having them on, that would be huge, and they can help, help J-Mo and help Antoine Green and help St. Brown, and the other receiving core, help them to be better receivers, better leaders on and off the field. So having a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, I think it'd be a good move. If the Lions decide to go that direction, like I said, a guy that can stretch the field. That guy, he's sure-handed. He's gonna give defenses problems. My book. People say, with Julio wasn't the same. With Tennessee and Tampa Bay. But one thing, these people still at times have to fear of those type of receivers because they can still stretch the field. These defense is key on. So having DeAndre Hopkins, if we could get him here, that'd be huge. So I have no problem with it if that comes down to it. It's something that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and this organization decided to go with, and I think I definitely that'd be huge. Like we just talked about Monty Williams, having him as a head coach is huge. We having DeAndre Hopkins, having him, you can just sign him to a 1-year deal. Give him like a 1 year, maybe $10 million. You still got cap. But I definitely understand what Nomus was talking about as well. Saying like, hey, you can spend some of that money and get more, on defense. But I think too, it's like, especially our secondary. We sure that, so far we sure that secondary. Getting the free agencies, like Gardner Johnson and and Sutton and and Mosley and those guys. Still get the young guys of Kirby Joseph and
Tracy Walker,
what I'm saying? Yep. So and like you said, yeah, you might want to get I can understand where Noah's coming from. Maybe spend somebody else on the deep end. Maybe spend somebody. Possibly another running back. Because anything can happen. We see we got a David Montgomery. He's great. But he gets injured. So, but
and I think too, man. See, and I think too, it'll be more one-on-one coverage for guys like Marvin Jones and St. Brown if Hopkins is here, because Hopkins gonna have a lot of double teams. So if he gets a lot of double teams, and that means more one-on-one with them, and then when J-Mo come back, then he's gonna get some one-on-one coverage, or he might even get double teamed. So that'll be just a double threat right there. So
absolutely,
that'll be more and more catches for St. Brown. And St. Brown is already one of the best wide receivers in the game already in his 3rd year.
Yep.
So crazy, but I think it's just gonna make them better.
Absolutely, it's gonna make them better. So, like you said, we'll see what Brad Holmes does. What they decide, what they decide to do. Like I said, they still got cap. they still got the cap. So, you know, like I said, to sign them. So definitely would say, you know, definitely looking forward. You know, there are other teams are looking at them, but the thing is, though, you echoing. No, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's echoing.
I'm echoing.
Yep. Brought to you by StreamYard. Oh man. It's still echoing.
Brought to you by the Long Sound.
It's even brought by me. Shit.
Oh yeah.
And his special power.
Yeah, man. So I guess Nolan's having technical difficulties. Yeah, I guess we ain't got much time on the show. Yeah, so we got a couple minutes. So yeah. Any final thoughts, man, before we jump out of here, man? Bree, any little final thoughts?
Yeah, man. Just as far as the Lions, man. Like I said, I wouldn't mind DeAndre Hopkins coming here. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't mind. That's just gonna make our team better. And just looking forward to the season and everything. And whatever happens. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just ready for the year. Just ready for things to pop off. Whoever we get,
Phillips
Campbell.
You hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
Okay. No, any little final thoughts? Coming in 2 minutes.
Yeah, like I said, if they get them, they get them. When it comes to Hopkins, if they don't, they don't. I really hope that the Lions OC and DC are smart to know that they should stay, unless a really, really good job opens for them as head coaches, because you need that time for them to continue to build the culture through the years and keep the winning going. You know, a lot of the big, long time winning franchises, a lot of times they keep those coordinators, but at the same time, I know it's in the NFC, it's hard to keep coaches more than it is in AFC, but I just hope they can keep these guys here, man, so they can continue to work on their craft as coordinators, because you really shouldn't take a job when you're young and up and coming unless you got a proven player like a.
We lost Nom. Oh yeah, so sorry about the difficulties. We lost Nom. So yeah, definitely, man. So it's been another great episode of the Rapaport, man. Episode 7. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, D313XP. Yeah, man, it's been another great show, man. So make sure you catch us this Thursday. We definitely gonna be going live. We're gonna have a special guest. So it's gonna be a little surprise. So we can tell y'all, but it's gonna be a little surprise. So we're gonna have more upcoming guests coming up in the show in the future. Definitely, man. So it's been another great episode. Saying we got to go and get out of here. Make sure y'all follow us on Facebook. Follow on Instagram. Make sure we're gonna be posting consistent content, man. So that's that being said, fellas. This is another episode of D313 Rapaport. We out of here. Peace.